All right, hello YouTube out there. All right, fan mail. The good side and bad side. Hopefully, I hope everybody can watch the replay of this video because I'm not gonna wait for anybody who chimed in. I'm gonna make this video short and sweet as much as possible and all that stuff. So I won't be able to get a whole lot of talking on the side chat. So I'll keep reminding people on that as they pop in and that. Okay, if you're going to be a YouTuber, is people's going to request to have fan mail. Basically, we did get that request over on the main channel. Be about over a year ago last year, so it's like almost like January of January or February of last year. I told him that I was not interested in getting the fan mail, and all of a sudden I got a PayPal donation, basically to say get fan mail. So what we did was we followed to a T. We used the money, and we opened up our fan mail. At first, I thought it was starting out pretty good. Then slowly, some red flags were starting to pop up. Basically, so we were getting, but let's talk about the good side on fan mail. Basically, there is good side to fan mail, but don't. But my advice on fan mail, if you're a YouTube creator, do not ever use your home address. Use a PO box instead. You want to open up a PO box for your fan mail. You want your fan mail go there instead of having your advertising your home address, because in the YouTube internet world, it's called doxing yourself. So if you think you can trust a few friends and maybe a couple subscribers with your home address, you remember you're getting their home address too, so they have to trust each other, basically. But once they don't give you a home address, then don't want to be trusted, basically. So, but if you're gonna do YouTube and you want to open up fan mail, use a PO box. It will protect you from the loonies that's out there. Okay, let's talk about the good side of fan mail. And I've seen it a few times myself when people receive stuff from their audience. We have had it happen a couple times ourselves, which we get good stuff, basically from subscribers and all that. So what it comes down to is this. When you open up a PO box for fan mail, if you're a YouTube creator, there is some risks you're going to have to take and consider when it comes down to that. But some of the items that we have received, basically over the few months for the 6 months we had fan mail, and we had not had fan mail since October on the main channel, since October of 2017, because we had a lot of red flags, but the good stuff came out of it. I'm going to show you some samples. These are not necessarily the same items that we got through fan mail, but it gives you a general idea of what fans could send you to. So let's say you do a YouTube channel and you're big on certain brand of coffee, and certain brands of hot cocoa. This is what we have received. Not necessarily these packages, but we have received something similar to this from our fans on the main channel. We had subscribers send us coffees and hot cocos. Not necessarily this brand, but you know what I mean. Probably that brand anyway. Sometimes if they think you're an item short, sometimes they'll mail you a tripod of some kind. This is a nice small tripod. Actually, this did not came through fan mail. The time I was going to get this, I told him I was closing down fan mail, so I had to give him my home address for this. So this came to the home address, and I did trust him because I do have his home address. I also have his current address right now because he had relocated from his old address to a new address. So it's all about trusting each other, the addresses. Then you get occasional letters. This is where the red flags came in, basically with our fan mail. This is what it came in. It started out innocently where somebody will send us a letter with no return address, stuff, put a few baseball cards in there, or address it to, to whoever it's attention to. This was attention to Angie. There was a few baseball cards and all that stuff for Angie to add to her baseball collection and get autographs. Then eventually the letters got thicker and thicker to a point that it was paid. We had to pay out of pocket to receive this letter. Then I got so bad, I asked the postmaster, basically, can I refuse these letters if I have to continue paying out of pocket? He said, definitely yes. I asked him what happens to the letter that does not have a return address on it. He goes, more likely they will destroy it, because if there's no address, they'll possibly, either if it's something of value, they'll put it up for sale, or they just simply destroy it. It is the postmaster's decision, and the decision's final. And that. So I asked I went on another, what I call fan mail videos, which you probably might see a few up on the main channels. I had not taken them down because I want to use those to educate people what I bought into, basically. So it was mostly my own fault for that situation in that. So what it comes down to is this. Let me take a little quick sip of pop here. Wet my whistle, and let's get back on again. Okay. What happened was, basically, I'm hoping everybody's watching the replay on this eventually, but what happened was we were starting getting return letters. And I was starting to notice some red flags, okay? These are red flags addresses and that. So we were getting an address, something similar to this. This is not, I'm going to say this is not quite doxing, because this is an official address of Wrigley Field. And, if you look at it and Google it yourself, that is the address of Wrigley Field. And because it just says 1060 West Addison, Chicago, Illinois. And if you Google it, it is Wrigley Field. So why would I get a letter from this person from Wrigley Field does not even have the Cubs logo or something officially from the Cubs? This is not even an official Cubs letter at all, but it has a Cubs address. I did get one from, this was a fake address. The address don't exist. It's an empty lot or an abandoned lot. I had one of abandoned lots. Here's another one we had from Wrigley Field by somebody else. PNC Park is as an address for PNC Park. I Googled all these addresses, and the reason I'm keeping these as evidence in case someone comes up saying, hey, you're doxing my address and all that stuff. Yeah, you're somewhat doxing the address, but these are public addresses, which basically, actually, I'm not going to show this as a fake address, but there's one address right here went to a factory. Some kind of factory in South Bend, Indiana. That was here's another Chicago address, and this is an address for the White Sox, Chicago White Sox address. Here's another one for Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium. Nothing the Yankees on the letterhead. Yep. So this is the issue that I had come up. This is the reason why I closed down fan mail on the main channel. This just happened. All these letters I showed on the main channel, basically. I know people say, Chuck, you're doxing addresses. You said on this video not to dox any addresses and that. But those are addresses. I was just letting you guys know that these are public venues. And one turned out to be they could be factories, empty lots, middle of nowhere, to ballpark, to actual ballparks and that. So some of these addresses are actual ballparks. So if you actually freeze frame the photo and look at the address and Google it yourself, it is a ballpark and that. So just keep that in mind and that. So, and why we get letters from ballparks, it seems to be an official letter, because it's not an official letter from them. It's just an overzealous fan. Also, if you notice, when I was showing you some of those letters, basically, they all had a similar handwriting. That was the red flag. So why would, let's say, a Bobby, a Bulk, an Al, a Billy, a Danny, a Mel, a Hugh, a Pat, let's say a Ted, no, yeah, Ted, a Johnny. Why all these names has very similar handwriting styles? It just amazes me how I said over on the main channel how 12 people can have same handwritings. That is scientifically impossible. So it's only done by one person pretending to be 12 different people, and that's considered in the internet world or any world, that's considered a crime, basically. So I don't know if I'm gonna be right or wrong on that one, but that is the bad side on fan mail. When you get an overzealous fan, really what they call spamming you. All these letters came around the early October, and we were in debate of renewing the fan mail. And when all this went down, that was it. Fan mail on the main channel was over. We were considering reinstating it this month. Of course, April is almost done, and we already made a decision already not to renew it, not to reopen fan mail for a while. So if anybody's been asking, is Chuck Chat's going to have fan mail? No. Is the Angie and Chuck show is going to have fan mail? We are going to be considered in the future again, but we're going to do a 6-month. We're probably going to go a 1-year tryout for 1 year. If the same issue happens again, then from now on we will have no fan mail. Basically, it's nice to have fan mail if the fans are doing it right. If you're going to be overzealous and spamming your favorite YouTuber, they will end fan mail eventually. And basically, if you're going to be a YouTube creator, do not ever use your home address as your fan mail. If you think if you got red flags like I have, don't be afraid to call it out on your channel, because they're just letting you know that something is fishy. It might make some changes, and it's going to involve the ability to send fan mail to your favorite YouTuber. So if you're one of those guys maybe watching those videos saying, boy, I'm going to spam this person out, I'm going to fake him out, I'm going to embarrass him and all that stuff, you may be the reason why they killed fan mail themselves, because they said, you know what, I'm not going to put up the stress of it and all that stuff. So, so if you're a YouTube creator, want to do fan mail, do not use your home address. There's a few YouTubers I do watch, and they do have fan mail, and it's to their home addresses, and they're setting themselves up for a very disappointing situation, especially when they get a lunatic in their neighborhood all of a sudden looking for them because they're butthurt because you uploaded a certain video that they didn't like, or a video you refuse to do, or something like that. So always use a P.O. box. And if you do collect at a P.O. box, don't be picking up at a certain time. Keep your times random. Random times will always be better, because make them, when someone's sitting at a post office and they're going to sit for hours and hours and hours waiting to a certain YouTuber to show up, they can be charged for trespassing, because they're on that property not doing no official business. Well, when you go on any government property, you've got to do official business. You got to go and pick up your mail, or you got to go and buy your stamps, and you got to leave in a timely manner. It's called in and out. You got to leave your business in a timely manner. Unless you're planning all of a sudden you're making letters out and going back into, you should have done that at home anyway, in that situation, making out letters. And that you should have done that at home and get ready to go, so you don't have to kill time at the, making yourself suspicious and that. So I'm just going to wrap this up right now, because I got to do other stuff today, basically. So if you're a YouTube creator and if you're thinking you got fans requesting fan mail, I would suggest a P.O. box. Try it out for 6 months. If it works out for you, extend it for a year. If it continues to work well for you, then you just keep going. But if you're starting getting spammed by somebody who has pretending to be 12 to 14 people, and they all have the same handwriting, that would be red flags to say, hey, I'm not going to accept letters from these particular people that has this handwriting. So always show You know, don't be afraid to show the handwriting. Similar handwriting. You can block out the address if you want, but you just show, if you want to block out the return address. But even look at the return address I showed you. Basically, they were red flag addresses because some of them were actually baseball stadiums and baseball addresses. They should be an official letterhead. I have ordered tickets from Wrigley Field, and they mailed them to me, and it came in a stamped letterhead, official letterhead, saying the Chicago Cubs, not Joe Blow from that address. Okay, it's not going to come from Joe Blow with that address. It's not an official Wrigley Field address, so, or Yankee Stadium, or whoever Major League Ballpark it may be. So, just let you know, there's a good side, there's a bad side. Good side is you could receive good stuff like items, gift cards, and simple fan letters. The bad side is spam, spam, like you see in your email. Spam, more spam. That's why I don't eat spam. I don't go down and buy a can of spam because every time I think of spam letters. So, all right. If you guys had fan mail on your channels, tell me your good sides and bad sides. Leave it down in the comments down below once this video goes live. Once this video becomes available for you to rewatch, leave it down in the comments down below. If you're watching on the side chat, just put up there real quick. If not, wait till it gets down below. Your thoughts. My thoughts is it can be good. It's bad. We experienced both sides. I showed you both sides of it technically in a way, but it all depends how the fans react. Always use a PO address. Never use your home address. And if you're planning to shut down your PO box for any reason, give your viewers an advance notice. Let them know that we are shutting down the PO box within a certain few weeks. So this way, it'll go into your permanent settings. Remove the PO box. You may have to remove some old videos that has your addresses and that as your PO box. But the one thing the postmaster will do is if in case they get any more letters, they'll send it to your home address for up to 6 months to a year. So it all depends on the postmaster. Right now, since we shut down our main channel, we haven't received anything new because we were smart enough on our main channel to let our audience know that we were shutting it down within 2 to 3 weeks at the time. So we told them what was the final day of fan mail, that we can receive fan mail. And we had never received fan mail once the video made that announcement. We had never received fan mail. Basically, if there is requests from us to have fan mail, we did request on the main channel to have fan mail. Right now, we have no interest in bringing fan mail. I might be talking about this over on the main channel sometime next week. Why we don't have fan mail anymore, or why we don't have fan mail. Something that we might consider back, but that's one thing we're going to watch. Spams. Nice gifts is one thing, but spamming and thinking you're pretending to be 12 different people, then red flags goes up and safety issues do occur. All right? All right, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next time on Chuck Chats.